Hi, so we're going to talk now about divination with crystals. You can do divination with crystals in many different forms. Some of them are pretty common, some of them are a little less common. I'm going to show you a few that I use around the house and with some of my clients. Um, you'll see that I have a couple of sets of cards sitting out, and they're both crystal-based cards. The set here to the left, which I will zoom in on, bear with the zoom. This is a set known as the Crystal Tarot, or the Tarot of the Gemstones and Crystals. Um, this deck is set up like a traditional tarot deck in that it has all of the suits and all of the major arcana, but each one of the major arcana and each of the cards in the suits, in the minor arcana, are all represented by different stones. So, for example, right here in the front, we have heliotrope, or bloodstone, as representing the Six of Coins. Bring that in a little closer. I don't know how much of that you can see, it's a little blurry. But each one of these cards then is a different stone. I don't like to use this deck very much because I don't do much tarot. And I don't find that many of the stones match up to the meanings of the specific tarot cards. However, these did make for wonderful flashcards for me when I first got them. To the right here, we have another deck that's known as an oracle deck, and this is a deck that's called the Crystal Diva. And again, these are cards that all use a stone that represents a specific aspect. For example, this one here says amber, and it's representing non-resistance. There's an amethyst card here that says divine consciousness. So these are ways that you can use crystals without actually having them in hand. Now, some people are familiar with the idea of pendulums. Let's come a little closer. I have a tiny little labradorite one there that I'm going to use in the middle. Pendulums are typically used on a yes-no system. Again, there's a great workshop or a great class through Love and Light with one of the other instructors on pendulums. But essentially the way a pendulum works is you hold the pendulum in your dominant hand, you ask it a yes or no question, and you read the direction of the sway. Another way that you can use crystals, right back there, on that little black pouch, there are 5 little amethysts, and I won't be able to get close enough for you to see, but those are all runestone amethysts. They have been carved with specific runes. I'm not going to get a clear shot for you there. But these are another way that you can use crystals. You can choose crystals that actually represent each of the runes, or you can choose a set of crystals that are all the same to represent your entire rune set. There is always the crystal ball. Mine happens to be selenite. And crystal ball divination is it's a form of divination that's a practice all its own. You really have to be well tuned in with your stone and well tuned in with your subconscious in order to be able to really appropriately use a crystal ball. It takes practice, takes a lot of practice. But it can also be very rewarding. Another way that you can use crystals for divination, you see how I have crystals kind of scattered around the table? Different kinds. You can place crystals in a bag, ask your question, and reach into the bag and blindly just pull out a handful of crystals. 1, 2, 5, 10, whatever feels comfortable to you. You can then read the crystals as they lie in your hand and see kind of what all works together, how it forms the answer for your question. Now, what I mean by that is, we'll move over here to this board. For example, I do that with this board system that I like to use. You'll see that there's 4 stones on the brown and there's 4 stones on the yellow. The brown is wisdom. The 4 stones that I chose for sitting over in that corner are pyrite, Dalmatian jasper, gold tiger's eye, and turquoise. If those 4 stones were to come out for me, I would suspect that there is somebody in my life that's not telling me the truth. I'd suspect that they were somebody who was close to me and they were literally speaking to me untruths. Now, in that yellow section, you see that there is, or you might not be able to see it, but I'll tell you, there's a serpentine, there is a snakeskin agate, there's a rainbow moonstone, and a cross stone, or chiastolite, or Andalusite. To see those 4 stones in the yellow section tells me that somebody's about to start on a journey in their life that's going to require them to really, really change who they are. They're going to be shedding their skin. They're going to be shedding the outer aspect of who they've been their whole lives. These are just some different ways that you can do crystal divination with crystals and with crystals by proxy. And I hope that helps you out. Go have fun with your crystals. Get to know them. Find different ways to learn stories from them.